Motors was the largest employer in America, where the typical worker belonged to a union and made $35 an hour after adjusting for inflation. Today, America's largest employer is Walmart, where over half their workforce makes less than $15 an hour, and none of their workers belong to a union.
Because if you took the actual minimum wage that was established several decades ago, that same minimum wage that some of these senators now, they say, when I worked in, the ice cream parlor and made $6 an hour, if I could do it then, y'all can do it now.
So many people across the country have already received a third stimulus payment, but I know there's a lot of you at home watching this video that have not received one yet. So in this video, we'll discuss how you can get a third stimulus check faster and quicker, because I know that many of you still need a $1,400 stimulus check. But first, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and turn on post notifications. So when will Social Security recipients get a third stimulus check? People who are under SSI or SSDI will get a third stimulus payment. Qualifying individuals will still receive the money in the same way that they receive other benefits. The timeline might look a little different depending on how you get your funds. According to the latest update from the IRS agency, federal beneficiaries, like those on Social Security, should get a third stimulus check in the same way that they received other benefits. And just because you automatically did not get the first batch of payments does not mean you won't get any. An IRS message updated on March 12th said that additional batches of payments will be sent in the coming weeks by direct deposit and through the mail as a check or debit card. The vast majority of these payments will be direct deposit. The IRS will automatically send the EIP cards, EIP3 for short, to people who didn't file a return but received Social Security retirement, survivor, or disability benefits like SSDI, and even railroad retirement benefits and SSI. The IRS also said that this is similar to the first and second rounds of economic impact payments. Federal benefits are typically distributed to SSI recipients through their Direct Express card account. The IRS has said that the first batch of stimulus payments have already been issued, but according to the most updated guidelines from Direct Express, only current cardholders are eligible for this third round of stimulus, meaning if you sign up now, you can receive other benefits, but not the stimulus check. Instead, your stimulus money will be issued in another format that might take a little longer to get to you. If you recently closed a Direct Express card, any third stimulus funds that were sent will be returned and the IRS will then reissue the payment. In addition, everybody, if you did not have your bank information on file with the IRS or have one of those Direct Express accounts, your payment might arrive as a paper check or through a different non-Direct Express bank account. So be sure to check your mail. In addition, guys, if you have one of those prepaid cards from previous rounds of stimulus, you will get a new stimulus card in the mail because those payments are not automatically reloaded. Now, as to when you should expect to see the money, we know that the first round of $1,400 checks began going out, but there's still not a specific date as to when SSI recipients or even SSDI recipients should receive a $1,400 stimulus check. But the IRS did say that most residents who received SSI or SSDI in 2020 should not need to take any action to get a third stimulus payment, because these payments are automatic for most eligible people. Now, for those of you on unemployment benefits, here's what you have to know. You may receive a tax waiver on up to $10,200 of unemployment benefits. If you're unemployed for part or all of 2020, your tax bill may decrease thanks to new changes introduced as part of the American Rescue Plan. Now, usually, guys, unemployment benefits are taxed at 10% at the federal level, as well as in some states. But you can get ahead of your potential tax bill by opting to have 10% of benefits withheld from your unemployment checks. So under this provision from the American Rescue Plan, you can receive a waiver on your first $10,200 of unemployment benefits if you are an individual taxpayer, or on a combined $20,400 if you're married and filing jointly. This provision effectively reduces your total amount of taxable income, and therefore decrease the amount you owe to the federal government. If you are eligible for the unemployment tax waiver, but already filed your 2020 taxes before Congress passed the latest stimulus measure, you may need to be patient. Now, guys, the IRS did say on the website that people in this boat should not file an amended return, but rather wait for further guidance. So yes, everybody, hopefully you guys found this video useful and helpful. If you received a third stimulus check, then leave a comment down below. So everybody, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give this video a like. I appreciate everyone's amazing support. Until next time, have a great day.
Mr. Winship, thank you very much for your testimony. Now we're going to begin the questions. Let me begin my questioning with former Secretary of Labor, Bob Reich. Mr. Secretary, according to your testimony, 50 years ago, General Motors was the largest employer in America, where the typical worker belonged to a union and made $35 an hour after adjusting for inflation. Today, America's largest employer is Walmart, where over half their workforce makes less than $15 an hour, and none of their workers belong to a union. How has the decline in union membership contributed to the increase in income inequality?
Mr. Chairman, one of the most dramatic changes in the United States over the past 60 years has been the decline in the percentage of private sector workers who are unionized. 60 years ago, even in fact 50 years ago, 1/3 of all private sector workers belonged to a union. That gave them bargaining power at the firm level. It gave them a voice at the firm level. It also gave them political power, because when you consider 1/3 of all workers unionized, the unionized segment of the workforce actually had a political voice. Now today, by contrast to 50 years ago, only 6.4% of private sector workers are unionized, which means that at the level of the firm, there is almost no union presence in most firms. At the level of national politics, the union voice is far less. The working class voice is far less. And so in both respects and at both levels, you get this severe imbalance. In the 1950s, we talked about the countervailing power represented by American labor unions, countervailing to the great power of American corporations. Countervailing power is now gone. There is almost no countervailing power left. And so it's not that the GM worker was that much more brilliant or productive, or the GM worker was so much better prepared than the Walmart worker. No. The difference really was that the GM worker had a union behind him or her, and the Walmart worker does not.
All right, with that, I'm going to have to interrupt you, and I apologize, but I want to ask some of the other panelists a question. Let me go to Jennifer Bates. Ms. Bates, let me ask you a very simple question. And why do you believe it is so important for you and your co-workers to have a union at the Amazon facility in Bessemer, Alabama? Why is that so important?
It's important because we need an equal playing field. For so long, people have been walking away from jobs because of the disrespect, inequality, and nobody has actually stood up to say, you know what, it's time for someone to be held accountable for